Sportscast Sports Talk 101 on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. Sportscast Sports Talk 101.
Discuss, debate, entertain, and loud.
Sportscast Sports Talk 101.
Going on, everybody? We are live on Sports Talk 101 with myself, Aaron, Ray, and we've got a special guest from Midwest Sports Network that's joining us tonight.
Thanks
Guys,
for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is awesome. Awesome.
I think you're our first real guest. We have one that has come on a few times, but we don't count him for real because he's a Cowboys fan from Canada. So he's just
Oh,
Cowboys fans never count.
Hey,
no.
man, no.
So yeah. So we are live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Actually, on two different YouTube. We're live on Sportscast on YouTube and Sports Talk 101. This actually is our first live stream over there as well. So we'll actually have some live content now, finally. I got everything set up. I got myself banned on Twitter for the Sports Talk. I had a Sports Talk Twitter account that I forgot the password, and I don't even remember what I said it. So I created a new one, and then I got myself banned. Apparently, I made fun of a Cowboys fan one too many times. So it said 24-hour thing. So then I had to go on the computer.
Jeff reported you. You know Jeff.
I know. So then they had me confirm who I was, and then I got the ban was lifted. So it's all good. It's NFL stuff. What doesn't surprise me anymore? Except the NFL. Week 3 again. Good Lord. I can't keep up with this anymore. My old ticker cannot take the shenanigans the NFL has going on these days, because week 3 was another one of those crazy ones. And I mean, it started with the Browns and ended with Danny Dimes showing that
Pickens. Did you see the catch? The ODB catch, man?
That hurt. I have back problems from watching that.
How?
I don't know. Because I tried to implement that one, and I think I threw my back out trying that.
We both picked the Browns, right? We both picked
I
the
believe
Browns?
so. I don't have it pulled up on my laptop. So, what's your favorite team? And if you want to give the community Midwest Sports Network promo, go for it. I pull this up.
And I try not to have a face. It hurts me, but I always give against common sense. I always pick the Steelers and the lose every time I pick them. It's great. I love it. I've been doing sports stuff for almost a decade now. Something that I started when I finished my Michigan and didn't have a rep lined up yet. So I said I want some way to be able to sports, and MWSN was that. Expanded from there. I do a lot of different stuff, digital line only properties, and then I just did Savannah State and Morehouse on H. Do a little bit of college football, basketball, and tons of high school play for about a decade now.
Nice.
Awesome.
So you're kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Awesome. Glad to have you here. Thank you.
This is what I've wanted to. I got in live content. I ended up doing gaming. I wanted to do sports, and I figured I would be, like Stephen A. or on ESPN, or actually playing in the National Football League. But with 2 messed up knees, it didn't work out, and nobody wants to see this on national television. So my best was doing a YouTube sports show, but. So we get some views. We got some crazy people in the chat every now and then, but I have fun talking sports. I mean, it's NFL when the NFL during the season, and then I can I had the name Sports Talk. I was going to go with some NFL related, and I was like, if I go Sports Talk, then when my incoherent rambling, sometimes I can just shift right over to every other sports that's out there. Or when the NFL is over, we go to like hockey, basketball, wrestling. I mean, pretty much anything that's sports related, I get to tie in with somehow. But yeah, so that's where we are. But yeah, Ray and I, we normally do video games and things like that. And then Tuesday nights we get to do real stuff, which is talking football.
That's right. That's right. And I'm out here in California. I'm out here in the Bay Area. Been a 49er fan since the 80s. It's been a roller coaster ride with this team. But I love sports. It's been a huge part of my life. I did soccer and football and track in school and stuff like that, but can't do that no more. But it's great to sit down and just talk about teams and what's going on, because it's always something. So,
yeah, it is. But yeah, so we've been doing. I had a Google or a Excel spreadsheet set up for our picks every week that we kind of do. I didn't get week 1 in there, but I kind of winged it, and then I've been slowly editing. We kind of started off with week 2, then we got week 3, so that's where we're at. And we kind of, for a long time, we just kind of went all over the place talking sports, and I've tried to narrow it down. It's easier when the season starts, because then we can kind of focus on 49ers. We can focus on Washington, which means, like 30 seconds and I'm done, because Washington doesn't do anything.
I mean, we're in the same boat, man, because you don't know. I mean, Jimmy wins games, he loses games. Wentz, he wins games, he loses games. You just don't know what Wentz
came off a four touchdown game, and then came off a 4 touchdown performance, and then showed us why Indianapolis got rid of him. But no, yeah, I've been a Redskins, Washington fan. Oof, I might have glitched myself on that one, but
Dude,
I've been a Washington fan. I know, mute. Where's the mute button? God, censor. No, I've been a Washington fan since I was born. My grandpa got me into watching the games. I was figured out how to be tone deaf when my grandma would be at home watching it, because she would scream at the TV and you would think you were at the game, or the people in the TV could hear her. And sometimes I thought they could, because they would pause for a moment, and I thought it's because they could actually hear her screaming from Virginia and they're in DC or wherever they were at. But no, I got to meet a lot of the old school guys, the Hogs. I've met Sonny. I met Sonny and Sam. John Riggins, I met him. I met Daryl Green, Art Monk. So I met a lot of the old school guys, the ones that were when Washington was, good.
Well, with me, I'm actually a graduate gemologist, so I worked in the jewelry business for over 25 years. So I had a lot of players, the ballers, come in when they needed to get the bling bling for their ears and their jewelry and stuff like that. So I met a lot of 49ers, a lot of Raiders, Oakland A's, met a lot of Raiders, because our jewelry store sponsored them. So people like, oh my God, Tim Brown would come in there. Even the old guys, Jack Tatum, I mean, it's just amazing. And the things that these guys want around their neck, and it's just kind of like, man, I try and tell them, dude, invest your money. Injury or something happens, man, you're out. But I mean, remember Dante Culpepper?
Forget.
Yeah.
Iced out pepper. A diamond pepper, folks. A pepper. A diamond pepper.
I'm sure that worked out for him.
But yeah. But man, let's get on week
we'll
3,
get
man.
on
Week
with that.
It was crazy.
Well, I mean, I honestly thought the Steelers were going to bench we're going to put their rookie in. I was waiting for it.
He's not ready, man.
It's only a matter of time. They're not. There's no way that Tomlin's going to allow a losing season.
To be honest, though, man, he did throw the ball pretty decent.
Yeah.
You know where his bread is? His feet. He can run. They're not letting this guy run. That's what he was known for, running. He needs to run.
You think it's because they're just used to Big Ben, who, if he ran, who knows, Grandpa would break a hip or something. Because I don't know if I would want to be the guy to try to take that big old thing down. Yeah, they didn't really have a decent running. I don't know what was going on there, but
yeah,
I feel bad though.
56 yards, a touchdown.
I feel bad for the Browns, especially at the QB position, because Brissett looked phenomenal. He was able to run. He had the offense working. He was just pumped. and knowing what's going to happen, down the road. And I'm just like, and for me, the funny thing is thinking, what happens if they win? And they keep winning with Jacoby. And then Knucklehead gets put in because, he got paid all that money and it's his team. And Watson goes in and then they lose. And they lose. And he's not this hyped up guy that everyone thought he was going to be. And he's just an average QB that got paid a lot of money to,
Get his butt on the bench. You go. Like, look, I'm just keeping it real. Like Cooper in Dallas. I mean, Dak did not play a good game. Yes, Dak is making the money, but if Dak doesn't play good, you go with the hot hand. You play to win the game. You go with the hot hand. But yeah, man, you gotta give it up.
198 yards a game.
Yeah.
And so I think Jacoby in Indy the whole time he was there. I think he's getting look. He did get a full season with the Colts, if I remember right. I think this is a really good look for him. This is his team. And I agree with you. I think that's a great take. With him too, Ray. If he can pull together a few wins, Watson take over the reins, and it's that same offense. It's the same side that you're seeing with the Steelers. Mitch Trubisky, Roethlisberger. Everybody's saying Big Ben was good and he needed to go, but how good is Mitch Trubisky? And of course, there's a few pieces that have changed, but kind of starts to show how good that talent really much. You might see the same story there in Cleveland. I think you're on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And shout out to Nick Chubb was on fire. Cooper was on. Cooper showed up, man. He finally showed up. Cooper, what did he get? He got 101 yards, a touchdown. Nick Chubb, 113. Even Kareem Hunt, 47 yards.
Trubisky even, but so my thing with Jacoby even is, we all know that Watson's. If I don't know if the coaching staff is going to be willing to just put Watson back on the bench if he underperforms. But is this more of a performance for Brissett to move on to another team at the end of the season? Because his market value could go up, one would think, if he continues to perform at a high level, knowing what the circumstances are. And we know there could be teams that could be in need of a quarterback come next season. I think he's going to keep playing. He did great in Indy. He's doing decent right now considering the circumstances.
He's going to be rusty, dude.
Well, that's the other thing is Watson. What is he? He's going to be rusty. He hasn't played. This will be like a year and a half. You haven't played a down. Mm-hmm. I don't know the last time he played, but you also have no rapport with anybody on this team. You didn't do anything in the I don't know. I mean, did he play anything in the preseason? And even if he did, it probably was one play. But still, you have no.
The problem is though, they paid him.
Yeah, there you go. That's the main problem with this.
The most stupidest thing. I'm and there's been some people that got paid. That's got to be the most stupidest thing to pay that guy that much guaranteed money. When you got somebody like Jackson over in the Ravens, he's running back. He's showing that he can throw the ball. He's doing everything.
Imagine if he could catch the ball as well, like Taysom Hill in New Orleans. He's a one-man team.
It doesn't make and he ain't a criminal. He ain't exactly. A criminal. Okay.
So, what are your thoughts on Dallas giving up Amari Cooper? How do you think that's working out for him? Because Cooper had 7 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown, and the Browns still had over 100 yards rushing. One player, they had almost 200 yards rushing overall.
Lamb having both feet in the end zone, catching the ball with one hand. They ain't missing Cooper, dude. They're not missing Cooper. They got some boys.
Well, that was that one touchdown. He could have had 2, but somehow the ball just.
Guess what? Guess what? He made up for it, and they won.
Yes, he did.
They won the game.
He did. I will give him that. He did.
I would have had his foot on the bench. Sit down.
So, do you think the Saints should be worried with where the season is right now? I know that it's still technically early, but we're going into week 4 and they're 1-2, and they lost to the Panthers.
I'm gonna let Gabriel answer that.
Should the Saints be worried? That's a good question. I don't really know. I don't think so. Winston isn't that guy, to be honest. Like, I've been rooting for Jameis the whole time he's been in the league. Using him for being the interception machine, but I'm just not seeing it. I don't think he's the franchise guy. Buy with them for a few years. Buy when he got there, but I don't feel the same now. Like, I'd like to see him turn it around, but I just don't. He's at in his career. You know how long he's been in. Not coming for him.
Yeah, I mean, he did. I mean, he had a good game. He put up 353 yards passing, but again, the interceptions that still follow him. I mean, it's not. I don't think he's not going to put up as many interceptions as he did in Tampa, but that's because that's not Arians. He doesn't have to deal with Arians saying, "Hey, just throw it and hope for the best."
They got an awesome rookie. They got an awesome rookie. That kid, was Olav, whatever. But that kid is hot. He was on fire. They still got Thomas. Alvin Kamara. He finally showed up, folks. He showed up.
Yeah, he did.
But James Wilson, he has an ankle. He's got a sore. I guess the back of his ankle is hurt and everything. The only thing with James, he just throws the ball up in the air, and guess what? Defense knows that you just throw it all. I'm just gonna catch it, and I'm gonna intercept it.
That's always been his issue, I think.
I agree. He's not the guy. 2 years and then go get somebody. Go get a.
No, and I like him. I hate to have to analysis, but it's just, it is what it is.
I loved watching him in
Florida. That's how I feel about Geno Smith. That's like I feel the same about Geno.
I
loved watching
Geno, but he's not the guy.
No. He's like
he's clearly not either of these two guys.
He might be a top 32 quarterback, like he's in the league somewhere. But if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, you gotta keep moving the pieces around.
Yeah, I can tell you another person that's not the guy, and people gonna tell me I'm crazy, but Russell Wilson, he is not the Russell Wilson that was in Seattle, folks. I don't even know.
Is it because he's past his prime, or is it because he's not getting used the correct way?
Both.
Both.
Could be both.
Yeah.
I really league, and then I'm the kind of guy. I'm an underdog guy. And the Seahawks got on, and I was like, I'm over this now. Now I feel kind of bad for him, and but it's just the way it's system around a guy. Some guys can't just be. Everybody can be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say Tom. Still, I'm not convinced Tom Brady isn't just getting into the right system. A bad take now. I'm going to get hated on for that, but
oh, that's a Tom Brady fan right there. That's a Tom Brady fan right there.
I'm from Michigan, so I do like Tom Brady. He could be receiving a little bit of a benefit of.
He's old, folks.
He is. He's old, but he's.
I'm telling you.
The other thing with Brady's issue is that I think he had too much time off. You didn't play any preseason, but the last one, and you only threw the ball once. Of course, he's going to have rust. I mean, that was a given. But I think there are other issues with that team besides the fact he doesn't have Gronk.
They don't have the players. They're playing. Cole Beasley. What you doing?
And the thing with the Bucks is with Brady and the Bucks. This isn't the Brady where he's not able to do what he did in New England, where he could just take anybody that was given to him by Belichick and turn them into superstars. I think it's a different dynamic down there, and I don't know. I also think there could be issues. The off the field issues are affecting his on the field performance.
What do you think?
Because we know he's got some off the field home issues going on there. He's, his kids are cheering for him. His wife gave him the cold shoulder at the game. She moved out, or supposedly, I don't know. I mean, so there's all kinds of crap that he's dealing with that could be also affecting his, his gameplay. And they're not going to bench him. That's the head coach.
Yeah.
The current head coach of the Bucks would be in the front office with Arians.
Yeah, you can't. I think I'm not trying to say he's not the greatest quarterback of all time, but he is. You got to give it to him. Incredible to watch, throw the football and read defense. I still think he can catch on. I mean, I know that's over, but I still think that this year he could catch on. He could get his old self, but he might not. I mean, it might. And if it is, is it fair for podcasters and folks who follow the league say, "Oh, he sucks now"? He's so old and playing. I just saw a clip of him take, and it was square footage. The ratio of the footage was an old television, and it looked like it was 480p. I'm playing in the league since my cell phone type deal. It's crazy.
He's been around for 20 plus years. He's been around longer than smartphones have been around. That's crazy.
iPhone.
He does. He does have an arm. Yeah, he does have an arm. I mean, he showed that by look at the fourth quarter. He almost had that game won, if not for the delay of games for whatever reason was going on there. Whether it was Rodgers snitching on him or who knows what else, penalties or something. But clearly, the fact that he was able to even get the touchdown and get them try to get a 2-point conversion, that there aren't many quarterbacks that can do that. Apparently, Kirk Cousins though could with Minnesota, bringing Minnesota back. I don't.
That last penalty killed him. I think if they didn't get that penalty. Because I was because I was saying to myself, God, I can hear Vet now. He's getting ready to hit me up in my DMs. I told you, Brady.
He's already texting. I told you.
And I was like, oh God, but yeah, they got moved back.
Yeah. Let's see what other games we got here. If there's any games y'all want to talk about, Ray, I know you would love to talk about that Sunday night game, but
we can about the battle of the punts because that's all it was.
Yeah, we can do about the Chiefs getting their first loss.
Oh man,
heartbreak in Kansas City.
Man,
them fans were just so upset.
Pittman. All I got to say is he didn't have when they got that donut. The Colts. He didn't have Pittman. Pittman came back. He was 222 yards. He threw 2 touchdowns. He didn't get an interception. Jonathan Taylor didn't get over 100, but he did run the ball. He did get 71 rushing yards, and he did get 20 receiving yards. So he had weapons, man. He got his receiver back.
What happened to the Chiefs? The Chiefs, do they even have a running game? Because they didn't during that game. Mahomes led the team with rushing, and that was only 26 yards. And
man.
McKinnon had 7 carries for 20 yards. That's terrible.
That's what killed him.
That is terrible because you're averaging 2.9 yards a carry. Mahomes averaged better than that with 6.5 yards. But
showed up. He finally showed up.
Yeah, he finally showed up out of nowhere. And Kelsey was, got the sole touchdown. But I've always said this with my issue with the Chiefs is they're predictable because their whole offense is relied on Mahomes' throwing ability, and that makes you predictable to defenses. If the defense if you don't have the running game, we already know that Mahomes is just either going to run the ball or he's going to throw and make some wild throw with that sidearm shit that scares the crap out of me, that he can still swing it into. And I don't understand the logic there because it literally is like a. And he does. But the problem is when your only thing is to pass, the defenses are eventually going to learn, and they clearly need to work on the running game because you can't rely completely on Mahomes to save the day every single game.
I picked the Chiefs in this one test, and that's. I know we just got done talking about. Yeah, I think we got done talking about how great Tom Brady. Brady averaging 17 points a game. They're getting my big deal, but they can't. They won't. They're going to bounce back from the Colts. I'm not seeing it at all for the Bucs.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, this was one of those. Like I said, that's my main issue with the Chiefs right now. Is just they need a running game, and I get it's just the way the NFL had become the pass happy league, and I was never a fan of it to begin with. But clearly, when every defenses eventually get better, and then they realize that, and you got to rely on the running game at some point or another, it's just inevitable. I think the one that really. Oh, go ahead.
I don't again in the NFL just because of the wear and tear. Knees and joints now. Guys just don't have a long draft and invest in a running back anymore. I mean, for it time and time again right now.
I agree.
I mean, and we're not saying that there aren't those, because we clearly know that there are several running backs on different teams that don't know that it's a pass happy league. Dalvin Cook was one of them. Derrick Henry's one of those guys that doesn't understand the logic that it's pass happy, that you just run and run. Yes, and Jonathan Taylor. You've got at least 3 right there that forgot that this isn't the 90s era where it's just ground and pound, and then you open up the passing game with that.
But can we talk about my man in Atlanta, Cordell Patterson? Because he helped me in my fantasy league, man. I was like, what?
Which game are we on?
The Atlanta game.
Oh yes, the Falcons. The Seahawks. Oh,
they beat 27-23. My man Cordell, hey bro, 141 yards, 1 TD.
Damn near almost 10 yards a carry. I mean, 8.3. That's really freaking good for a running back.
He helped me, man. He because I got him in 2 leagues, and I won because of he's awesome. He can also catch the ball too. He can catch the ball, but Seahawks, man. Did you see the interview when he basically said, we're bigger than one guy, and he was talking about Russell, and
but their record says otherwise.
Yeah.
Their record says no, they're not.
Yeah,
More than one guy, Pete. Sorry.
Let me see what else we got. The one game that I thought was going to be a ridiculously high scoring game was the Bills and the Dolphins. I honestly thought that was going to be higher than a 21-19.
I'm going to ask Gab, did you see Tua get his bell knocked out? Okay, and they say, he's okay. He's all right. He should have been in protocol, concussion protocol. They didn't do it.
What do you mix in a whiskey sour? Whiskey. He's great. He's good to go. Him back in. They said it was dehydration, I think. Yeah, and I don't think I don't want to be that guy. I mean, we're right, and the league's talking about it, and everyone in the media podcast is talking about it. And mom's husband, I mean, everybody sees that happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just don't know about that. Just the standpoint of the franchise, it doesn't make concussion protocol look like a joke. And dehydration. Maybe I'm wrong, but
there's no way.
I saw
that.
He got knocked out, man. He was on.
I'm prior military. I know And when I was in the service, I was down in South Carolina in the summertime, and I watched guys that would drop because they didn't think they needed the 12 canteens of water, so they were dropping in the field during drills and things like that for dehydration. What Tua had was not dehydration. There's no way. And I like that they tried to cover it up by like, oh well, if the NFL does an investigation, we'll follow everything. No, you already shot yourself in the foot by even bringing that up. Like no one's. I would have been like, well, nobody said anything about an investigation. Like, are you admitting something that you shouldn't be doing, and that's why you're trying to cover it up? Like that. That to me was like.
They said it was his back. It was his back. He hurt his back.
I hurt my back too once, but it didn't make me.
Honestly,
I didn't have that issue.
Won that, man. The clock ran out. If they would have managed that clock better, I think they could have. They would have won that, but
yeah, I mean, it was.
When you said, did you see the coach destroy the Michael? And like literally 48 hours out a memo. Listen, if you get caught destroying a tablet during a find the
you know what that rule is.
Exactly.
I know everyone's so good.
They were like, yeah, everyone got that memo, and they're like, God damn it, Brady! That's literally the Brady rule.
Mom, I love
I saw that too. And I was like, I saw that too, and I was like, how many memes and different things are you going to see? And all it's going to be is Brady just throwing the tablet with that memo attached to it or something. But this, like, talking with Ray, when Tua got his head knocked out, this is every fan out there, every Miami fan. This is what you saw was that right there. that says it all right there. And I was just like, right. That is the perfect guy face as soon as Tua goes down and then gets up but then stumbles right back to the ground. Like, clearly
they won.
That was the issue there.
He threw an awesome pass to Waddle. I mean, Waddle and Hill.
Waddle is no joke.
No, that's a dangerous tandem. Detroit. I thought Detroit was going to beat the Vikings, man. I
used to say you never count out Brady. I'm starting to get that where you never count out Cousins. Because the Vikings will be like this. Every game, they're like, you know what? We don't want to effing win. Let's just blow it. And then, oh, never mind. Let's come back at the last possible second, and win it.
They got Jamal, man. He was getting the touchdowns, the running. You had Brown. They got Brown catching the ball. But Adam Thielen was hot. Cook was hot.
Yeah, he almost 100 yards rushing. Cousins, 24-41, 260 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 for the INTs. That is the most important thing. And the thing that I said this from the get-go, when they got the new offensive coordinator, they got the new coach and all this stuff, I said the best thing they can do with Cousins is play to his talent. The best that Cousins ever was in his career was his last 2 years in Washington. And why was that? Because Shanahan, all of those guys, they played. The entire offensive game plan was built around whatever talents Cousin has. That's where it was. He doesn't run the ball. He can't run that well. He gets flustered as soon as the pocket collapses, but he's consistent. He is accurate. And he does have talent. He is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL under Brady and a few others. If you look at his stats career-wise, he's up there with like Brady and Rodgers and people like that. And he doesn't have anything to show for it, which is sad because he's, was with Washington for so long and not with the Vikings.
Yeah. But what do you got about the Detroit and the Vikings game?
I'll tell you, I do a sports betting for that on Win Big Sports, and I tweeted myself picking the Lions because they're going to disappoint me and lose, and they did. They did exact. I knew they were. I don't know why I picked them. This week is in 20 games that Dan Campbell's win, so I think they're going to win this week. I think the week. Yeah, and Detroit just they all apart late. They've been doing it for a couple of. I think the Dan Campbell Lions really are different. Time to build. They're doing it right this time. It's just going to take a few.
I think the reason the Vikings won is because DeAndre Swift was not 100%. I think if DeAndre would have, because I mean that guy can run. I don't think he wasn't 100%, and I think he could have helped them win that game. Plus St. Brown, I was hoping he would get over 100 yards and a touchdown, but he didn't. But Josh Reynolds, he showed up.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were winning. They let the damn Vikings rally and come back. So that's
fourth quarter comeback. Quarter comeback.
Classic line. I love the line. It's the story of Detroit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That clearly that was 100% one of those that it's this is the typical Lions again.
Yeah, he had a horrible fumble too, man. He had fumbled the ball and they had got the ball.
How about
what you got?
Mac Jones, 321 yards passing. And but what killed him was 3 interceptions doesn't help your team. And I know he's injured, so I'm hoping he heals up.
Hold on. One of the interceptions, the guy slipped. All right.
Yeah, I know.
The guy slipped and on the ground. Well, hell, at least Jimmy G had 4 guys surrounding one damn guy, and I'm just like, you got Debo over here, like, yo, the ball, and you gonna throw it. I mean, but anyway.
Well, I will say Mac Jones did get a touchdown, though. He did get one. He just had to run it in because he clearly couldn't throw a passing touchdown without risking another interception. I haven't heard. I missed hearing how long he's going to be out because I know he's out for a while. I didn't get a chance to see what the injury status update was because it's an ankle. But I've noticed this trend all season that it's like everybody that's gotten injured lately, it's been ankle injuries are the big thing now. We're done. We've moved on from knee injuries. Now we're doing all the ankle injuries this season.
Man,
apparently,
because these receivers be out here breaking ankles, man, with these catches, man.
Well, at least it's not basketball because they'd be out a whole lot longer.
Can we? Speaking of the Giants game, they got Zeke Elliott. What? Oh yeah, right. You want to talk about a running back, man? It's just like he's just not himself. He's not himself. I think Tony Pollard has surpassed him.
Pollard's taken his mojo. And
I would be feeding him.
It's time to move on from your overpaid running back that doesn't do anything but get the ball a few times. And even when he got the touchdown, what was it? It was like it was at the goal. It was a goal line run, and he got it. Yeah. He's basically become Jerome Bettis at the end of his career. Because that's what Jerome Bettis was for the Steelers.
He did get a 27-yard run, but Pollard.
Yeah, but come on now. That's him getting those kind of yards. That's hit or miss half the time. I mean, it's not a huge thing. He doesn't get that all the time anymore. I think it's time to cut ties with him. It's time to cut ties with Dak Prescott. And I know that those were the faces of your franchise, but you've got a much better quarterback.
Who the hell are you going to get, man? You can't get
Cooper Rush has the team. They don't need to get another quarterback. They've got one in Cooper Rush. They've got a running back.
To be honest, though, you got to see more games, vet.
Yes, I have to see more out of Rush. But from what I've seen,
Giants, come on, dude. Giants.
Hey, the Giants were undefeated.
Already beating up Bengals and Giants.
Rush didn't have to do a whole lot because the Cowboys defense destroyed that team. Yeah, the defense destroyed. I lost track how many sacks that they had, but it was at least. Well, Lawrence had 3 by himself.
Yeah.
Then you had Wilson had 1. That was so you're at 4. Armstrong had one, was 5. They had 5 or 6. I was like, is anybody going to get any? We going to allow anybody else to do anything? You going to break Daniel Jones? Because at this point, I'm like, he's getting up, and there were times when he got up, I'm just like, he's looking around like you don't know what the hell's going on anymore.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, that was an embarrassment on all levels by your offensive line.
I want to say that's faced in his career, and I totally had it for my podcast, and I can't find it. I swear that's the motto in the NFL. I'm just gonna say it. Let it hang out there.
All right, we'll leave it. We'll leave it there. We won't say nothing. Let's see another good one. How about the Jaguars? Who thought they were going to win 38-10?
This ain't Urban Meyer's Jaguars no more. This is Doug Peterson's Jaguars, man. Okay. I believe it. I believe in the Jags, man. I believe in the Jags.
They scored 31 points in 2 quarters. They put 16 points up in the second and 15 in the third. And then we're like, you know what? Let's slow down a bit in the fourth, but we'll get a touchdown at least.
I will say, though, Herbert is playing hurt, man. I seen a couple where he got hit and he was like, my ribs. You know, but he is hurt. He's hurt. If he was 100%, it'd be a different game. I tell you that. It'd be a different game.
Right. But Trevor Lawrence, the Chargers defense allowed Trevor Lawrence to get 262 yards and 3 touchdowns on 39 passes. And they allowed Robinson to get 17 carries and 100 yards and a touchdown. And that's not even fact. And then you had, is it Etienne? I don't know how to pronounce that. Their other running back, 13 carries, 45 yards.
You can't forget on Jacksonville, Zay Jones, 85 yards TD, and then Christian Kirk, 72, a touchdown. Even Marvin Jones, a touchdown.
Zay Jones has really started to take the show. He's been doing pretty good the last few games. And I know they're only a few games anyways, but still, I mean, because you can kind of see he's getting that rapport built up. They had 1 forced fumble, no interceptions that they got. But yeah, let's see. Chargers and Herbert, even injured, he still put up almost 300 yards.
Because the guys, dude, so now we're gonna and Josh Allen, those are some big boys.
No kidding. So now we're gonna get Trevor Lawrence in Philly and Jack.
Be a good one.
They're not supposed to play in Jacksonville, are they? They're gonna have to deal with Hurricane Ian.
They're probably gonna go somewhere else. I know Tampa's game. They said Tampa's game is getting moved somewhere in the Midwest. I haven't heard where Jacksonville's is. I don't know exactly what they're talking about, where in the Midwest, because I don't know. Are you using college stadiums? Are we using high school stadiums? Are we just playing it at the Chiefs Stadium? I don't really know exactly what they haven't announced anything yet because they were waiting to see. But since obviously this is a nasty, nasty hurricane, and hopefully there's no damage to Tampa and the stadium and all of that stuff. I don't know exactly where either of those teams are going to play.
I think are they at home?
Let's see. Let's go to week 4 real quick.
Either way, I square off Trevor Lawrence and one of the best matchups we've seen all year.
Well, week 4, Dolphins. Well, the Dolphins don't have to worry about being at home. They play in Cincinnati. And Tampa. Yeah, Tampa, the Bucs will be the one that'll be having to go somewhere else. Miami won't have to worry about it. Jacksonville is at Philly, so they don't have to worry about it either.
There you go.
Philly.
For now.
Philly. Yeah, for now. Well, yeah, I don't know what'll happen. It will look like when they get back from that game. But since we're talking Philly, I watched some of it, and then at one point I was just like, "Well, it's 24-0 at the half." I was just like, "Are we going to have a second half comeback by Washington?" And I was like, "Nope," because Carson Wentz is running the show. That
Like
was
at
just
one
disgusting.
passing yard at the half.
I don't know what they had. I gave
Like,
up after a while. I was just like,
I'm not
No,
even
he's
being
right. He's
a jerk. Like,
no,
I
he's
really
not. He's
think,
telling the truth.
yeah,
He's telling the truth.
Unfortunately
it's
for him.
not even. Yeah, it was sad. All of the
Devontae Smith, 169 yards and a TD. Boy was balling. Then AJ Brown, 80 foot. I mean, good lord, dude. And then can't forget the tight end, Dallas Goedert. He was.
I love that name. I'm sorry, I love that name, but
He was
no,
fantasy tight end.
yeah, that eagle there behind me is no freaking joke anymore. And I wasn't 100% sold on him for a while because I just wasn't sure how he was going to take over. But obviously, he has officially taken over that team, and they are
who's better. Who's better than the Eagles in the division? Who's better?
nobody, because the NFC East is the laughing stock of the NFL. And any given week, somebody can take over. And I'm being serious because since 2017, actually, it might even be longer than that, there hasn't been a repeat NFC East division winner in a long time. I don't know the last time there was. I think the Eagles might have had it ages ago. It's been like 5, 6, 7 years since there was a repeat division winner. But at this point, the Eagles are the clear favorites. And I saw people doing polls. Where do you think, the NFC East ranks? And I'm like, well, at one point I would have said the Eagles, the Giants, the Cowboys, and Washington. And now I have to say the Eagles, and it kills me, Cowboys, Giants, and Washington. And honestly, I don't even know if I can put Washington. Doesn't even, at the rate they're going, if they don't figure something out, Rivera may not even want to finish his contract out there.
NFC East is going to be the Eagles, Cowboys. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put your Washingtons and leap them over the Giants, and I'm going to have Giants at the bottom. That's what I got.
I could see that only because Washington has talent, and the Giants have Danny Dimes. So
they just lost a hell of a weapon, man. They just lost a hell of a weapon.
Well, Shepard's is injury prone, and I get that he's injured. So he plays, and then he gets injured, and he's done for the season. Every injury is season ending. So at some point, you need to figure: is it worth keeping him, or do you cut ties? But also, they've got another receiver. The Giants have another receiver that looks like is potentially getting. There was rumors that he's going to get traded by the deadline. It wasn't Shepard. Who's the other one that they weren't using?
Galladay.
Yeah, Galladay is the one I've heard.
He's in the doghouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I heard there's rumors he's going to get traded. But I'm looking at the Commanders, and I don't even know how Wentz pulled off getting 211 yards with that crappy performance
during garbage.
Well, McLaurin was the only highlight out of this. Is that once again he gets 100 yards. Overall he breaks 100 yards receiving, but it doesn't help when Gibson didn't do anything for a running game. We had no running game. 12 carries for 38 yards. I get he got the crappy touchdown that no one cares about because it didn't help us. But Carson Wentz, 3 carries, 22 yards, average 7.3. But Gibson, dude, you had 38. I mean, I don't know what we're supposed to do because I thought Gibson showed promise. J.D. McKissick didn't show up. He had promise at one point, and now
JD's catching the ball, man. He did catch the ball.
But
he received it.
I get that, but our running game is just like when every other year. The only time we've lost track, we've had a few good stints where we've had good running games. When we had Stephen Davis and Alfred Morris, and some might say that Denver running back that we had that was only good for one season, and then
the only reason Carson Winston's got running stats because he was running for his life.
I know he was.
He was running. He was.
And our defense, I mean, God, this is just disgusting. 8 punts. There's why you lose when you're punting the ball 8 times in a game. You can't win when your defense is on the field basically the entire game. Oh, let's see. And I think did we talk we didn't talk about the Niners game and I did want to bring up what Gabriel, what your thoughts were on the punt, the safety punt.
Immediately said it on the network. I was like, butt punt. And I don't know. I guess it doesn't have it. The network is hammering it this time, and butt fumble was fans were saying. And I don't know. It's the network's idea.
Well, it's you've made it big when even Mark Sanchez is out there showing his own image of him doing that and making fun of the punter that got the safety. And I'm like, dude, you've hit an all-time low when Sanchez is willing to show his own butt fumble and still make fun of you.
That's brutal.
Yeah. That's a 49er fan, man. We love Jimmy, then we sometimes we hate Jimmy. We shouldn't have lost this game. We should not have lost this game because Denver was not that great, man. Was not that great. And we wasn't that good either. You know, it was punting. And these punters, I gotta give it up to the punters, man. They were putting it right there.
They
did a hell of a job.
They probably that's more work they've gotten in a while. And it wasn't just this game, though. You know, there were a lot of games that it was just punt, back and forth. It was like watching tennis, but with punters going back and forth.
I'll tell you,
that one.
Jeff Wilson Jr., 75 yards. They should have just kept running the ball. When you put Jimmy's throwing the ball in the forecourt, it scares me because I was like, oh, man, don't, just don't, you know. But he threw an interception in coverage, heavy coverage. And we lost, man. That 11-10 stings.
Hey, that's a record. You guys helped set a record because I think that they said that actually that score was an NFL record for. They haven't had an 11-10 game before, so bravo, you guys got that record in the books. But do you put some of Jimmy's issues though with just rust? He hasn't played in a while. I mean, barring getting thrust back into the starting job that he wasn't supposed to have, and coming up, and still maybe having some issues. I get he's 100% from the surgery and all that.
I'm happy. We tried to get him out of here, and you saw we lost Trey. Okay, so I'm happy he's here.
Imagine what you could have had.
And I mean, we got him for what, $6.5 million. So he's a backup, but he's really a starter, and I'm happy to have him. We'll win some games. This is gonna sting, but we'll win some games.
Well, man, that time went by quick. Well, we should probably get our picks in before we ramble on about all our disappointment in our Washington team and how much we hate Aaron Rodgers and the Niners.
Week 4 is interesting, man, because we got the Rams.
We start off with
Miami.
An interesting one Thursday night on Prime Video. And I will say, I watched the first Amazon Prime Video football Thursday night game, and they said I had no issues watching it. But I saw on Twitter there were a lot of people griping, there's so much, it's glitching, and why does it look like crap? And I'm like, I don't know what the problem is. It worked for me. But
it worked for me. I was happy, man.
Well, you're in California. You don't count.
Wow.
You got that California internet. But no, has it gotten better though after that first game for you at least, Gabriel? Or is it still just trash?
I'm having an audio problem, and at first I thought it might have been my TV, and of all the people in the world, like I've got broadcast cameras over here behind me, and audio, it's me. It's not my TV. It's jacked up, but I like the audio sound. Almost sounds like they plugged an XLR mic in and two broadcasters and just turned it way up. Doesn't sit in underwater water, and every week and every time I look it up, everyone's was not matched up to the mouths of the announcer to the play. That's not my
That would drive
problem.
me
Mine
nuts.
is just that it's weird. So I don't know who have the underwater problem. So I don't know what to do. I'm watching underwater.
Come on, Amazon, get this together. Otherwise, Apple's going to take over.
Cool. I'm cool. I'm not having any issues. I can even watch it on my phone when I go out of the room and I want to watch. So it's okay for me.
I will say that I do like that next gen stat feature thing that they have. That is a cool looking feature for the younger kids. For me, it's too much crap on the screen, and it takes. Then my eyes are looking at that and the weird angles with the drones. I'm like, no, I need the old school stuff. I'm too old for that. That's a younger generation's thing with all the stats and like when I was a kid and I was all gung ho with that. I would have loved having all that stuff there and those new features. Now I'm just like, God, am I really that old that I hate that stuff now?
Wow.
It's kind of like the USFL. Like they were doing too much. Like they should try and work in some new stuff of like how much can you do at a time without overdoing it.
Yeah, like it's cool and all, but you're kind of doing it a little bit overboard with this stuff. So who do we think? Dolphins at the Bengals. Who you got? Who do we have for that one? I'll tell you who I'm going. I'm going Bengals only because Tua's not in protocol, so he's healthy. But I'm not sold on it, and I wonder if there'll be residual effect issues that he may suffer from that we don't know about.
You know what? I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna go with Miami. I'm gonna go with Miami.
All right.
Air my podcast on Saturday mornings for this pick Thursday or Monday Night Football. So I put no phone fins up.
That's all good. Let's see. So next up, Vikings at the Saints. I'm going Vikings on that one. Not just because I'm in Minnesota,
Right.
or as Jeff would say, because I wore a Vikings shirt after they beat Rodgers and beat him down. That I switched teams. Which if that was the case, I'd just be rooting for the Bucks and Brady all the time. But because I think there's issues with the Saints, and it starts at the quarterback.
You know what? I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go with the Vikings, but I do see Jameson Wilson repeating what he did last Sunday. So, but I'm going with the Vikings.
Next one
don't
up.
have any fight in them.
Yeah. Browns at the Falcons.
Going with the Browns, dude. Nick.
Yeah,
Chubb,
so am I. So am I. I'm not going against. I did that once. I made that mistake once already. But watching Jacoby and watching and I'm a fan of Nick Chubb. I've been a fan of him since he got with that team. He's been phenomenal, and I think he's only going to get better.
I'm not so like Mariota. I'm just not like.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Not a huge.
Yeah, it's
I
hit
do
or
like
miss with
Cordell.
him.
Love Cordell Patterson, and I do love London, the receiver. The guys, the kids. He's gonna be a star.
The next one, this one's going to be an interesting one. Bills at the Ravens. I'm going Bills because I don't go against. I know better than to go against Josh Allen, but I have concerns because the Ravens are, as much as I don't like Jackson, he's impressed me because he's gotten better. I criticized him because I thought he was just a one-trick pony with the running game, and he wasn't the greatest at passing. But he's been showing every week that he's getting better with the passing, and which makes him dangerous because he can run the ball. And when you can run and pass, that is a dangerous combination.
Going with the Bills. Going with the Bills because they're going to be hungry. They're upset that they lost.
We know they're upset because we saw that temper tantrum in the booth.
So
that's going to be the next memo. No tantrums allowed.
So I'm going Buffalo.
All right. So, God. Next up is Washington at Dallas.
Dallas. I believe it. I'm sorry, your boy Wentz is going down.
Yeah, look. As much
Oh
as
my-
I would love, this is gonna. I'm probably gonna not sleep at all tonight. I have to go with Dallas on this one, and that kills me because that's the one team I hate more than anything besides Aaron Rodgers. But even I know with Wentz behind the Dallas's defense is going to destroy him.
dude,
He may not, and I don't want to wish any ill injuries on Wentz, but he may not make it out of that game. We may be lucky and get a different quarterback starting after that one. He's just going to get eaten alive.
Hurt.
Oh, they are gonna destroy him. I don't even know. Wentz may not want to even show up for work that day. Next up, Seahawks at the Lions. I'm going Lions on that one. I think the Seahawks have. I have no faith in the Seahawks with their quarterback situation unless they have a running game. The Lions, I would trust Jared Goff to lead that team to victory more than I would Geno Smith.
Cowboys always lose, so never put money on them. They've been winning with Cooper. Just letting you know.
They've already surpassed. They've already surpassed that because Monday nights they were 0-1 with or whatever. They were winless without Dak. And obviously that's not the case anymore. They seem to not need Dak right now. But
I'm going with the Lions over Seattle.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah,
Goff,
I mentioned that
up,
earlier. Dan Campbell's a favorite for the teams. The 2 points per game. The Seahawks are averaging it's not happening.
Yeah. Chargers at the Texans. I'm sorry, I'm going Chargers on that one.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going with the Chargers. I thought you was getting ready. Because you keep. I don't know what's with you and this quarterback, man.
No, there's no.
I know he likes the Texans quarterback, and I'm like,
no, it's the Tex. At this point, I don't see them. There's no chance. Herbert's going to be coming. They're going to be coming at him with that one. Titans at the Colts. Oh, I don't know on that one. Torn.
I'm gonna go with I hope these two running backs are going to show off. I think this is the day that you see these Henry and Taylor go off, but I'm going with Tennessee.
I'm gonna go with the Colts on this one.
And with the Colts.
But I also know that this is one of those that I think it's gonna go either way. I really don't. This is a tough one because I think it could go either way. Not mostly because the running game is going to be. I think that's going to be what we're going to see more of than anything else. Next up, this actually would be a good one, which is weird to say, is Jacksonville at the Eagles, and the Eagles are hot. I know that, but Jacksonville's a different team. But I don't know if they could. I don't know if they're going to be able to take out the Eagles at this point, this early in the season.
Going with the Eagles. You go with the Jags. You go with the Jags. You're going to go with the Jags?
No, I'm going Eagles. I'm not. No, the Eagles are on. The Eagles are tough right now, and they're proving it each week. That could be the upset pick of the week, though. If any game gets, I will say this: if any game so far, from what I've seen for the schedule, if there's going to be an upset, I could see that one, Jacksonville being the upset, because I don't think anybody expects Jacksonville to put up a fight against the Eagles, and I think that would be one hell of an upset. Next up, Jets at the Steelers. I'm going Jets on that one.
What?
Whoa!
Steelers are a mess.
I'm going with Steelers.
You go with the Steelers, but
I'm going with the Steelers, man.
Every once in a while, I love to throw the curveball.
I'm going with the Steelers, man. Holy crap.
Who's going to be the quarterback, though?
138 yards passing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Flacco will probably throw about 300 plus yards, maybe three. He might break 300 again. I mean, look, he's almost 1,000 yards into the season already with the Jets, and I didn't even know they had receivers that could get that much. Card, so he's doing something there, or he's auditioning for other teams to be like, "Hey, look, see, I can still play." Next up, Cardinals at Panthers.
Cardinals.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning. I don't. I think the Panthers were too hyped up over Baker, but I don't. Kyler Murray irritates me yet amazes me with the ability to
Wait
find a
a
way.
minute, hold on. Did you see all the damn balls Zach dropped, man? I had Zach on my fantasy team.
So did I.
Dude was dropping the ball like he was playing hot potato, man. Zach was dropping the ball. Downtown Brown, Hollywood Brown. I mean, he had a decent game, but Zach, come on, dude, you're an awesome tight end, man. You need to catch those damn balls. And then the running
Yeah.
game, where was it?
Not with the Cardinals that game. But the thing is that the lacks that they have, is that enough to make them lose to the Panthers? Do the Panthers have more talent? I mean, Christian McCaffrey obviously could if he has another 100+ yard game, I think they could win. But I don't know.
You know what the problem with the Cardinals is that dude's not running like he used to. He's not running. That's his game, is his feet. He's just like Jalen Hurts uses his feet. Jackson uses his feet.
Yeah.
This dude hasn't been using his feet. That
Murray.
is his bread and butter. Murray, use those feet, man. Throw the ball. Run and throw. Do what you got to do. But you got to use your feet, man. You got to use your feet.
So who you going with?
Cardinals. I'm going with the Cardinals. I
wasn't sure you were criticizing the shit out of him, so I was like, "Does that mean you're going with the Panthers?" I was going to put Panthers.
He sucks.
He's not running like he's usually. I mean, he's got to run.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that one. The next up is Patriots at Green Bay. I hate this. I hate the Packers, but God bless it. I'm sorry, Belichick, but I don't. Who the hell is who's the quarterback in New England? Because it ain't Mac Jones, so it's a loss.
They're still in the NFL.
Ouch. Jones, I believe in you.
I think it is.
I believe Jones. I believe in you.
I love Mac Jones. He's shown himself, and he's done a great job getting better every game. But the fact is, he's not playing. He's out for a substantial amount of time, which means the Patriots are not going to be the Patriots now, because I don't know who the hell you have.
Go get Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, they're
Fred.
Yeah,
favor the Pack.
Yeah, I mean, if the Patriots somehow pulled off a win, good God, whoever bet against the Packers to get that one is going to be making some hellacious amount of money for that, because there's no chance that the Patriots win. I just don't see that unless Rodgers doesn't show up.
Now we was talking about Dallas when they lost Dak, and everybody was making fun of Cooper, and Cooper not once but twice. And he even beat somebody that went to the damn Super Bowl. Didn't win it, but they beat that team. So
right.
I'm just saying.
All right, well, who you going with?
I'm going with Aaron Rodgers, baby. I don't even think he gonna pass that. I think he's gonna hand it over to Jones or Dill. Hey, when y'all want to run on in and just
walk in. Yeah. So next up, Broncos at the Raiders. I don't even know on that one. You got the 2-1 Broncos going up against the 0-3 Raiders, and the Raiders clearly have the talent, and the Broncos don't know what the hell to do with their quarterback because they don't know how to use him. So I just don't know with that one. I honestly don't know who the heck to choose.
I'm gonna tell you something.
My gut says go with the Broncos, but my brain is saying pick the Raiders because I don't see the Raiders go with the talent that they have. I don't see them going 0-4 to start the season.
I see some Waller the Baller doing some stuff, and I see Devontae Adams. I'm going to give them their first win against Denver, so I'm going with the Raiders.
Okay.
Sorry,
I went.
Kevin, I'm going with your Raiders.
That's who I was going with as well. I just don't. I can't see the Raiders have too much talent to be 0-4. Sunday Night Football on NBC will be the Chiefs at the Bucks, which typically is a good one, but who knows what'll happen. I'm going Bucks because I don't, it's Brady, but I also know it's Mahomes. But Mahomes, I can see the Chiefs win it because Mahomes is going to be pissed they lost. Mm-hmm. But it's also you don't count out Brady.
You forgot a team. You didn't. Did you mention Chicago and the New York Giants?
Oh, I skipped them.
Yeah,
we probably did because it's. I'm sorry, Bears fans.
Kind of messed up. The Bears. I can't forget the Bears.
Wow, I can't believe I skipped over the Bears. Man, they're such a good team. Well, we'll jump up to them. I already gave my pick for the Bucks are going to win. Bears at the Giants.
Wait a minute. Who did you get? Who did you say to win?
For the Chiefs game? That the Bucks are winning the Chiefs game.
Man,
come on now.
What are you? What Kool-Aid are you? God, dude, you are such a Tom Brady homer. I swear.
Are you gonna pick?
Go with the Chiefs, man. I'm going with the Chiefs, man.
All right, so let's to apologize to all those Chicago Bears fans. Well, I don't know how many there are out there, but I'm sure there's some out there. And the Giants fans.
Hey, man, put some respect on their name, man. Put some respect on their name.
Who do we got winning that one? Because that's the battle of the 2-1 teams. Do you think the Giants come back and win it? Or I'm going with the Bears. I think the Bears have a better shot because Daniel Jones. I think it will be close. If Barkley shows up,
Herbert, dude, had 157 yards,
but
he showed up.
Can the Bears defense stop Barkley? If Barkley shows what he plays the way he did last week, can the Bears defense shut him down? Because if they can rely on Barkley to do the majority of the game, running, and maybe Jones can find somebody open, once in a while, or run. I mean, hell, even if he ran the ball, because he shocked me, he surprised me more than anybody with the ability that he can run the ball. Although it was scary watching him run.
There was no receiver that got over 100 yards with Houston, and there was no running back that got over 100 yards. So Chicago, I'm going with Chicago.
All right, and then Monday Night Football will be the Rams at the 49ers. This one's the only one this is a tough one because I like Jimmy, but I hate Jimmy. But I like watching the Niners win because they have so much talent with Kittle, and Debo just amazes me watching him play because I just don't understand how you have a receiver that is like that kind of a threat that can run the ball, catch the ball. I'm just waiting for him to throw the ball and do a razzle-dazzle pass to throw to Jimmy and watch Jimmy get a touchdown pass or catch. But Donald, man, is just going to eat Jimmy alive with that defense if the right Rams defense shows up.
Cup.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Can the Niners defense shut down Cooper Kupp?
Cup ran. He even ran last game. He ran in for a touchdown.
I know. What the hell is up with this?
These receivers I love my San Francisco 49ers, but I'm also a realist, and I have to go with the Rams on this one.
I have to agree with you on that because as much as I think that they would bounce back, against the Rams, I don't see it right now.
But shout out to Bosa. Bosa got 4 sacks, people. Shout out to my man Bosa.
Yeah.
He got 4 sacks.
So, all right. Well, there is our picks for the week. I'm sure that half the picks will be wrong and half of them will be right because we all know in the NFL we don't know anything because every week is completely different. And hopefully we won't see any butt fumbles or, safety punts or anything because I can't handle the amount of shenanigans that goes on every week, trying to figure out the analytics and all of that I basically had to throw away every week because nothing's the same anymore. But it's always fun watching. So if you're a fan of football, make sure to tune in because you will have fun watching whatever your team is, your favorite team is. Just watch football. It doesn't matter. Get Red Zone. Watch all the games. Have a TV in every room of your house. Tell your wife on Sundays just say your goodbyes Saturday night, and that you'll be busy all day Sunday and Monday, and then Tuesday you'll see her again. And let me know if that works, because if it does, I want to know how you did it. Because I have not been able to figure that one out. But we'll see you guys here next week, same time, same place. Gabriel, you want to give a shout out for yourself and your show?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me on Twitter. Schray Guy, SCH. You can see why. GUY, the Schray Guy. Stuff coming your way, and be sure to catch me on the call sometime.
Awesome stuff. We will definitely be hit you up maybe later down the road towards the end of the season if you want to pop back on again for another guest appearance. But yeah, with that being said, guys, we will see you all on the next one. Stay safe out there in this crazy world. Yeah, Maker, thanks for blowing up our chat tonight since you were the main one in there. But we will see you guys next time. It's been fun. It's been real. We'll see you out.